You know what's crazy about Seattle? Every time I fly in, first of all, usually it's raining and I'm freaking out that we're going to crash. But this time it was sunny. And we were flying out over whatever, the Puget Sound, whatever the hell it is. And I had the window seat. And I looked down and, I've been meaning to find this fucking house. You ever go and you land, you're coming in for a landing and you're looking down over these neighborhoods and it just looks like, the little houses all made out of ticky-tack, that bullshit. And then every once in a while you fly over one of those Illuminati neighborhoods. And it could even be your home state. And it just so, because the winds are different, they just flew over a different area that day. And you look down like you're going, where the fuck are those houses? Is that a school? Or is that a house? What is that? And it was one of those deals. We were coming in, I feel like a different way than usual. And I had the window seat and I looked out. And what I saw, it can't be described as a mansion. What's the next size up from a mansion? Like a villa? Is that the word you use? You know what it looked like? You guys ever see that movie, The Dirty Dozen, with Lee Marvin and Charles Bronson? Do you remember when all those Nazi officers were in that they were in France and they were in that, because they were occupying France and they took over the whole fucking country, and so they were in that giant looking like castle type thing that had all these rooms and these. That's what this thing looked like. And we're flying over the thing, and it was surrounded by these beautiful tall trees all around the house. And then on three sides of it, it looked like three manicured fairways in the shape of like football fields. Absolutely fucking immaculate. And it was right on this like peninsula, and there was water around it. And then you had to walk like 100 yards. You had to walk like it looked like 200 feet of woods from the house, and then a 100-yard football field. And then right on the edge of the water was one of the coolest looking in-ground pools I've ever seen in my life. Like you'd have to take a fucking tram from the house to get to the pool. And I don't know. I'm going to try and find it. I don't know how to tweet it or something like that. I don't want to tweet somebody's fucking house, but I don't know who lives there. But if there is people that meet every day to decide whether it rains or not, that guy who lives there or that lady, they are at that meeting casting their vote. Because I don't know. I've never seen a fucking house like that in my life. So anyway, so we go into Seattle. And as usual, and this is the last time I'm doing it, I went down to that stupid fucking Fisherman's Wharf there where they show them throwing the fish. And as I was walking there, this is the first time I walked in there, I was like, why am I going down here? This is such a touristy thing to do. You know the food's going to suck and it's going to be overpriced. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. I got like some crab burger. Bartnick got his burger. His burger was cold. Mine was all right. And I'm like, of course, nobody from Seattle goes down here to see a bunch of asshole tourists buying Seattle magnets and sweatshirts. Where the fuck did they go? And I forgot to ask. I don't know. So anyway, I had a shit sandwich with a side of fries there. So then I went out. I did the show at the Paramount Theater. And it was crazy. Like, the theater was one of these deals where, like, you, I don't know, just the way it was set up. Like, you said the joke, and there was, like, half a second pause, and then you'd hear the laughter coming back to the stage. So it kind of fucked up my timing at first. And everything went great. And in the end, somebody finally yelled Seattle, and I kind of brought up the fact that I had sung We Are the Loudest or whatever. I got booed a little bit, but they were cool about it. And I don't know. It was an awesome show. And then I found out that Dave Chappelle was in town right around the corner. So me and Bartnick, like two little schoolgirls, literally ran over to where he was performing and got to watch the last 10 minutes of his set, which, of course, his last 10 minutes crushed anything that I've ever written in my entire career. It was a nice... it was what do you call it? Not eye-opener, whatever. Just, the second you think, like, hey, I think I'm getting a handle of this. Oh, wait a minute. I still suck. Okay, cool. So it was an awesome night. And then we went to this fucking bar. Chappelle was over at the Moore Theater, which is the one where Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam made that one where he was in the dirty shorts, right? And he dropped down into the crowd after he stared at him for an uncomfortably long time. So we went to this bar right around the corner, and it just seemed shady the second we walked in. And according to Bartnick, the bouncer said it, when we walked in after he checked Bartnick's ID, he said, "Good luck." So I proceed to drink way more than I should have. And, the end of the night comes and I'm hungry. So I go up to the front desk and I'm like, "Yeah, you guys still have room service?" They're like, "No, they're fucking drunk leprechaun. Here's a pizza menu. Get away from the front desk. You're scaring the ladies." So I vaguely remember this. I went upstairs and I'm trying to order a pizza. And something in my back of my head goes, "You shouldn't be eating like this at this hour." So I call them up and they were like, "Thank you for calling Gino's Pizza. Can you hold, please?" And, "Can you hold, please?" They don't wait for a response. They immediately put you on hold. They should just say, "Hey, welcome to fucking Freddy's Pizza. I'm putting you on hold." But they don't. "Welcome to Tony's Pizza. Can you hold, please?" And they put me on hold. So I'm sitting there. And I think I actually passed out for a second. And I woke up and I was still on hold. Or I think I passed out with my eyes open. Like one of those things. I just started thinking about shit and I forgot what I was doing. And then I was just like, why is one of my ears hotter than the other? Oh, I'm on hold. And I was like, fuck it, let me call back. So I called back again. "Hey, welcome to Gino's Pizza. Can you hold, please?" Put me on fucking hold again. And as I was like, no, I just want to order a pizza. And they already had me on hold. So I sat there for another fucking couple minutes. My ear's getting hot again. So I hang up. And I don't really remember what I said, but I called them back. And as they're going, "Hey, welcome to Tony's Pizza," I just start dropping F-bombs. Going, fucking put fucking somebody on fucking hold, you fucking asshole. I just want to order a fucking beef, fucking. I just remember I said fuck like 58 times. And the guy on the other end goes, "Hey, buddy, you need to relax." And I just kept, it was like I was filibustering with Tourette's. I plowed right through that. Fuck. He just hung up on me and then went over to the bed, probably passed out face down, in the pillow, breathing in carbon dioxide for the rest of the night, and woke up with a brutal hangover as I had to fly to Phoenix the next day. And I had one of those ridiculously smiling like a fucking maniac stewardesses. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, she's still putting on all this makeup to the point she looked like some crazy clown. And she was just like, "Hey, how are you today?" Like adding syllables to fucking one-syllable words. And it was just kind of like, "Can I get you a drink this morning?" Just fucking like, you can see it. Her life was almost over the hill of hope. And she was just going to go, she's just pulling back the throttle, and she's going to go as positive as she possibly can, hoping if she puts this fucking energy out there, something loving is going to come back to her. It was one of the most uncomfortable fucking flights I've ever had, and I was hungover. And the more I was coming at her with my negative energy, like, "Can you fucking stop smiling at me? All right? I just need some water." Right, to get rid of the throbbing in my head. It made her pull back on the stick even more, to the point I think she went into a stall. I don't know. It was one of those deals. I'm sure she was completely normal, and it was just the fact that I was so goddamn drunk that, or so hungover, that her extra bubbly personality was coming across that way. I don't know. Well, as always, I was probably in the wrong, but I'm too immature to admit it. So with that, that's the beginning of the podcast. By the way, you are listening to the Monday Morning Podcast. If you just happen to walk by somebody's earbuds